Set your clocks, get ready, and hold on tight because Fox 17 Morning Mix is taking the party to a whole new time slot. But don't worry, it's still the same great show that you've come to know and love. Fox 17 Morning Mix is moving to 10 a.m. starting Monday, September 11th. We'll see you then. Well, it is a beautiful morning in Mackinac City. We are at Fort Michilimackinac at the base of the Mackinac Bridge. And the way they start the day every day here,
with a bang.
Cannon, with a bang. Hey-o. And Todd, you get to do the honors today.
I do at Fort Michilimackinac. They don't mind firing off a cannon or two to wake you up early in the morning. You want to give me a countdown?
This is a new experience that visitors are actually able to do, and Todd's going to start it off. So I will give you a countdown.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go! So we've made it inside the fort, and we are with the curator of archaeology, Dr. Lynn Evans.
I am Deb DeGraff, and we are in Jenison, Michigan at our corporate office of DeGraff Interiors. We have been working on this extensive remodel for 18 months, and it is just exciting to have the office space we need, the warehouse we need to not only service our staff, but also our customers. One of the things about DeGraff that I love, and it allows us to offer just an array of product and experiences, is we work with not only with builders on new construction and remodel, but we also have a very large and robust commercial division. And about half of what we do, believe it or not, is commercial. So many of the buildings downtown, hotels, different facilities, we've been privileged and blessed to do flooring there.
What's somebody else not doing, I guess, you know? And it was an idea drawn up on a napkin by the owner, Spencer Raymond. He wrote it out. He's like, nobody's doing waffles, and we think of waffles like a vessel for other foods. It was a long 2021 in our industry. We had the pandemic and layoffs, and I was included with that layoff group. And I saw an ad for a restaurant that wanted to sell waffles, and I thought it was crazy at first. I was just kind of dumbfounded by the fact that somebody wanted to sell waffles, cocktails, and coffee at the beginning, and I thought it was kind of a scam at first. By my second interview, I was like, this is a real thing, and you know, I can buy into this. It's more than, you know, just waffles, cocktails, and coffee. To say it was easy, I would be lying. It was a rough road. We dealt with a lot of the things that many restaurants did. You know, it wasn't an easy time to open a restaurant. We had everything from the pandemic when we opened to labor shortages and everything in between. But overall, the reception's what's really kept the drive going. It's what's kept me going. It's why I'm in this industry. We started off as, you know, like a fast casual style restaurant in our plan, and as we're building this out, we evolved into what we are today. And you know, we're you know, a sit down restaurant, you know, with an eclectic feel, but you know, you can come in from any walk of life and still feel welcome. The other part of our mission statement is to come as you are. You know, we want something that was an elevated feel on the inside that drew in anybody from any walk of life, but at the same time, we didn't want somebody to feel like they couldn't step into our restaurant based on being too fancy at the same time.
KBS started back when my friend Nate Walser was the head brewer. I was his assistant, and we had made a breakfast stout, had been a thing. We came across 2 bourbon barrels, spent bourbon barrels, and we were thinking of a beer to put in there. So the first beer we did was a breakfast stout, chocolate coffee oatmeal stout. We thought it would be nice to, you know, add some whiskey character to it and see what happens. So we put that in there for a year, and it turned out really interesting and good. It wasn't quite right. We had to make some adjustments to the base recipe. We had to up that chocolate, up that coffee, bring the alcohol in the body up a little bit to withstand that time in the barrel. And the next year, I think we made 4 bourbon barrels, and that became KBS. Had no idea that it was going to turn into what it did, though. One year, there was just a line of people around the door for the release party. And what had happened was, you know, it was the internet. It was beer rating sites like Beer Advocate, Rate Beer, the beer nerds, or the connoisseurs, if you want to be PC about it. They were just talking about it, and they were excited, and that got contagious, and it started this hype, and everybody wanted to try it, so people were coming, and they had to get it. Lining up around our building, chasing down the trucks, the distribution, and it was pretty wild. Breakfast Owl was actually based on a homebrew recipe, so one of the first things we did at the old place was to brew up the breakfast stout, and of course age in the KBS barrels, but that all happened back over at Monroe in the old Brassworks building. It was me and Nate and the original crew, just dreaming and, you know, being former homebrewers and bringing some crazy ideas to the table. At the time, it was a hard beer to make. You know, there was a lot that went into it. Barrel aging was a whole extra step and required space to store these barrels. And dealing with chocolate and coffee are, you know, not traditional beer ingredients. So we had to, you know, develop ways to efficiently add those ingredients throughout the process. But once the beer is made, you ferment it out, and then you fill these bourbon barrels. The first many batches, it was tasting it every month, every couple months to see how it is, and we settled on a year. And then we pull them out, empty those barrels out, fill into a tank, and package it up. I've been trying to be conscious of, you know, respect for the beer itself, and try to work with the flavors that are already existing in there. You know, I did one with espresso, one with the Mackinac fudge, kind of amplified the coffee aspect. Chocolate cherry is this year's release. I went with a couple flavors that I thought would meld well, but unique enough to stand out on its own. Cherries grown here in Michigan, always nice to tie in that local aspect. And of course chocolate is part of the beer anyway, so kind of amp that up too. It's subtle, provides a nice tartness, and then of course the chocolate with its layers of rich, complex sweetness, and I don't know, I think it came out pretty fun. You know, it's high alcohol, it's full of flavor. It's one of those beers that's probably, you know, more on the sipping level. We have plenty of, I'll say more crushable beers. This is the other end of the spectrum, you know, meant to be enjoyed. Snifter's a great way. Maybe you want to pair it with some food or just enjoy it on its own after dinner. I sometimes use it as my transition from morning coffee into afternoon drinking on the weekends. We invested a lot into our facility to be able to, you know, do a quantity of barrel-aged beers. We have tens of thousands of barrels of various things filled, and KBS, you know, will make a majority of that. You can get it all your favorite local stores and chain stores, or local independent retailers. It should be available everywhere. And of course here in our tap room too. Oh man, this place is great. It's my favorite tap room I've ever been to. It's got, first of all, 30, 40 something different beers on tap at all times, just to, you know, give you some variety. We do some live music down here. We got a beautiful beer garden. We brought the Brassworks bar over here, the original bar, where we all sat around, you know, dreaming of things like this, but maybe not imagining that it would come to this. But yeah, that's pretty fun. There's a lot of memories and sentimental value over there. You know, originally it was the beer nerds and the people that you know, actively seeked out the hard to get things. You know, they had to have it. You get somebody that says, "Well, I don't really like beer." You give them KBS, and they'll probably find something they can enjoy out of it. It's always a good feeling. You know, seeing your beer getting drunk anywhere. In KBS especially, though. You know, you know that person's that person is a legit beer person.